Somebody is already calling in? Why? So, people are joining. So, let me say, obviously, favorite filter. I'm on here. The crop top is back. So, I have some new flowers. I did not get a chance to arrange them yesterday. And so, I thought I would come on here, as is my ritual, and arrange them today. And just talk about things. So, okay, wait. I need to be working while I'm doing this. First of all, I bought roses, but I have now. Anybody who saw me do the last roses, I was getting like pricked all the time because roses have thorns. Surprise, surprise. And so I was gonna go out and buy gardening gloves to protect my hands from the thorns. But when I went to my sister's house yesterday, she said that she had some. Now, these are the ones she gave me. I have very small hands. And so they're going to be too big, but they will get the job done. Let's look at the roses. You have helped me to become more open-minded. Who said that? Thank you, Bibliothic. All right, let's take a look at the flowers. Now, yesterday, because I didn't have time to all the way arrange them, I had to put them in the refrigerator, so I feel like they might be a little smushed. So let's get them out here. They're, first of all, so freaking long. Oh, these have been dethorned. Yes. Okay, but look. Oh, this one's a little smushed, but this is like pink. It's not coming off as pink. Let me take off this filter so y'all can actually see what's happening. Oh, that's not. I want to be normal. How do you go back to normal? Y'all know I'm old. I don't know how to use Instagram. Wait. Where's no filter? I just don't want any filters. Sorry, I'm being like 100 years old right now. How do you turn it off? Just turn it off. I don't. Filter I was using because it's not. Okay, we're back. We're back here. I don't know. Anyways, I was just on the regular one. Okay, sorry. I don't know. Anyways, so these are pink, but they're coming off like a weird like orangey color. I'll just take a picture afterwards and you can see the color afterwards because I don't know how to go back to regular filter. Okay, with no filter. All right. So these are really long, really super long stem roses. I used to get my flowers delivered, but I had a bad experience. So I now go to the florist around the corner from me, and it's so much cheaper. I got 25 long stem roses for $22, a steal. And when I was buying them online, it was like 24 for like $60 or something like that. So for the first arrangement, I've already done my homework, okay? So for the first arrangement, let me put this back up a little. Okay, we're gonna take 8 roses. Okay, 4, 5, 6, ooh, a little floppy, 7, 8. Also, yesterday I got my apartment cleaned, and oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm messy, right? I have ADHD. I'm messy. I've been messy since I was a little kid. Like, it's just hard for me to get it together to clean. And so when I was a kid, my mom would always just get on me because I was just so messy and like I couldn't. My brain literally was like, cleaning? What is that? I cannot do it. I still can't process it. But thankfully, right, have a little bit of extra income so I can pay somebody to do it. I feel so much better when my apartment is clean. Like, I feel like I can conquer the world. I got up, I watched the Will Smith stuff, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air stuff, and I watched his Red Table Talk, and I took notes because I'm gonna do an IG live about that on the For Harriet side. Like, I mapped out what I want to do for the rest of the month. Like, honestly, having a clean space makes a huge difference. So I just feel like a lot of clarity. Is Mercury in retrograde right now? I don't know. Okay, so I took out my 8. I'm back. You should also do stuff with succulents. That would be fun. I'm not the biggest succulent fan. Pretty headband. This headband is from somebody on Etsy. I can't remember what her name is, but I'll shout her out. Okay, so I have my 8 and we're going to cut them. Okay, so obviously the title of this is Arrange Flowers While Arranging Feelings. And I don't have therapy for a couple of days. And I haven't had a chance to like debrief with my friends. So y'all know I don't even keep these up for a long time, so I can kind of talk about it here and be messy, and then it'll just go up on the Patreon. Anyways, if you are a patron, then you already know why I might be arranging feelings right now. But I'm gonna go into it and then take this down and then never talk about it again. Oh, and also I have a little patch, a little zit patch right now. It's just a little adult acne we have going on, so just ignore that. So I made the decision years ago after a relationship that I was not going to be in the business of performing any more relationships. That means I would not talk about them. Oh, and by the way, if you are I'm sure that he's not watching this, but if you are the person whom I'm talking about, don't feel bad. Like, I'm not gonna talk shit. Like, I'm gonna be vague. Okay. No hard feelings at all. So years ago, I decided that when I was in a relationship, like a serious, like full-on love relationship, the last time, that I afterwards was like, oh, I got too caught up in performing love, you know? It's really easy on social media, and especially, I mean, I have a bigger profile now than I did then, but you know, I had some followers, and you get caught up in being like, this is my boyfriend, and like, these are my pictures with my boyfriend, and we're in love, and you know, all that, because you know, like, the most socially, let me pretend like I'm going to do something with these flowers. But you know, it's really easy to get caught up in that stuff because the most socially supported thing a woman can do is to partner a man, right? So there's so many social rewards to being in a relationship, but not just being in a relationship, to performing being in a relationship, right? To posting the pictures, to tweeting about it, to doing all of that kind of stuff, right? And so after that relationship ended, I decided, oh, I'm not going to do that anymore, right? And so, you know, anytime I got into a relationship or was dating somebody or, you know, seriously talking to somebody, that I was not going to be in the habit of, this is my man, look at him, I'm validated, you know? And so, I didn't do that, right? The only place I really talked about it was, you know, on Patreon and like for the members, because like I still want to talk about what's happening in my life. I just don't want to do it here where like the whole world can see, right? And so I avoided that, right? And so now that I'm on the other side of that, I can kind of to talk about some things that I've learned. Somebody said, yes, performative love is so easy to... Did y'all see him? I got him. Performative love is so easy to fall into. Performing love be 99% of these relationships out here. Yeah. Would you ever get a piercing? No. Okay. So anyways, okay, I'm back. Let me get back to the story. So now that I'm on the other side, I can talk about it. Because there's some things. And I'm going to be like cryptic, but like not cryptic, right? Okay, so a month ago, a little over a month ago, like 6 weeks ago, started talking to this man, right? And that was right around the time when I had my first tarot reading. Like, I knew I wanted to get a tarot reading because even though like I'm a little afraid of like that stuff and like I'm like naturally skeptical, I was like, what could it, what harm could it do, And so I got a tarot reading. Let me cut these flowers. 2, 4. I need 4 more. Okay, let me cut them all the same length. She said like 6 inches, but I don't know how long 6 inches is. So, okay, let's just do about that long and we'll see. Okay, so I did my tarot reading, right? And, we went through all this stuff about my family and my work, and she told me to be honest in my work, right? Be honest about my life and what's going on, and that being honest in my professional life would help me to be more honest in my personal life. So I am pretty honest and open. I want to protect people because I've chosen to be public. Other people have not chosen to be public. But I've tried to, do the balance. And then when we were talking about my romantic life, she said, there's something happening here. Something is going on. And she says, are you kind of into somebody right now? And I was like, yeah, like I think I am. And, I said the name, and she said, oh yeah, I can feel it. Like you're getting charged up, like just saying the name, right? And she's like, this is a lot of like pent up like sexual energy, and you are going to, because of my attachment style, read the book Attached. She told me to read this book called Attached. It's so, so good. And so I read it, and she's like, yeah, you have an anxious attachment style. It takes you a minute to get there, but once you're there, like, that's that. And you really need to be cognizant of that because you're always going to be moving out of anxiety. You're always going to be moving out of neediness and fear. So you should really probably try to get that under control before you jump into this thing. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, that's making sense. And then she was like, so you know what? I actually suggest that before you jump headfirst into this thing, that actually you should spend the next 4 to 6 weeks like dating. Like go on dates, talk to other people. I know that your instinct is to say, I don't have time for that. Like I like this person, like let's go all in. But she was like, that's just not, like learn from your mistakes. That's not what you need to do. And I was listening to her, and I was like trying to keep a straight face, like, yeah, like that's right. But in my mind, I was like, I'm not gonna do this. Like, sorry, lady. Like, you don't know me. Like, I'm not gonna do that, right? Kimberly does not have time to do all that. I don't want to go back on Hinge and be trying to have Zoom dates with people when I could just be like talking to this one person, and that would be it, right? And then as I was in my mind being like, I'm not doing what this lady says I need to be doing. I'm just not going to do that. I was like, does she know that right now I'm completely rejecting this, that I'm not going to do that? So anyways, we went through the whole tarot reading, and I was like, I don't know, like, she seems like a nice lady, and I'm going to read the book, but I'm not doing what she said because Kimberly is trying to have what? Sex. Okay. So, she was right. She was right? Like, and it's so funny because it's not just about the tarot lady. My therapist said, the same thing. She was like, you have like, because I'm very much like, it's okay to be single. I actually kind of prefer it. Like, I don't need no niggas up in my house. But, once you make, oh, shoot. What I forgot to do? I cut this straight across. All the botanists know that if you are cutting flowers, you cannot cut them horizontally. You have to cut them at an angle because that creates more surface area for the water to absorb into the flowers. And even that probably is going to be a little bit too tall, maybe. Okay. All right. I like that you talking about to your therapist. I do. The way people think that that's only teenage shit. She probably did know. Do you think she watches your channel? I don't know. Like, she could have Googled me, but I'm not sure if she Googled me. I'm not sure. But she was saying things to me, and like, honestly, I'm into tarot now because she was saying things to me that I actually don't talk about in public. Like, when she was encouraging me to be more honest about my life in my work, she was referencing stuff that I actually don't talk about in public a lot, or ever, honestly. So unless she was like a paying member of Patreon, like, I don't think that she knew. Okay, so anyways, the lady was right, right? Like, I should have listened to her. And like, she was right about how I was I was front loading, right? Like, so instead of being able to have a foundation where things can grow naturally and it's not forced and all of that, right? I was putting everything in the front and saying, oh, it'll just figure itself out, which is like typical Kimberly. And then, because the other thing about that is, you know, and it's also like, I don't even like men enough to be doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, why, right? It's just so easy to fall into old patterns. Like, I don't even like being partnered enough for me to even be investing in that stuff. But again, it's like the socialization of being like a woman, you know, of being a girl and being a woman is so strong that even like me, Kimberly, read all of the books out here talking about this all the time, something can flip and I'm like, oh, I'm back in it, right? So that's what happened. And so I should have taken her advice. I should have cooled my jets and gone on the Zoom dates and like really reevaluated, like, do I actually like this person or am I ovulating? Do I actually like this person or I just really want to have sex? Like, do I actually like this person or do I have seasonal affective disorder right now? And talking to this person makes the nights go by quicker, right? Should have done that. And by the way, it's no shade to this, like, truly, right? Truly. Great person, just not the person for me, right? But then the other thing was, as I was, you know, having these questions about, I was having these questions about like, you know, I've experienced what it feels like to effortlessly fall in love, you know? Like, I've experienced what it is to, you know, be with somebody and talk to somebody and it just flows and you talk for hours and you don't even realize that you've talked for hours because it's so easy and it's so natural, right? And I've experienced what it is like to, you know, just really see eye to eye, you know? And obviously, a lot of times that stuff does not last, right? Because, like, that's the infatuation stuff. But, you know, during the course of this, I was feeling like, why am I not feeling that infatuation stuff? Is it because I'm 31, right? Like, is it, you know, am I no longer able to feel the infatuation stuff because I'm in my 30s and we don't love these hoes, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that what it is? Or is this really just not the right fit, you know? And so I would always go back and forth about it. Like, am I being, you know, has media, right? Because, you know, we are inundated with hetero love propaganda all the time, right? And so whenever I am trying to, you know, think about my relationship to men, which, right, I'm really trying to like deconstruct or really decipher whether are these Kimberly's real feelings or are these Kimberly's feelings that are tainted by hetero love propaganda. It's real hard. You don't know, right? And so I thought, okay, well, we'll just, you know, power through and see and figure it out. But it was never easy. And I was like, why is this not easy? You know? So anyways, fast forward, and that situation is like over. But I will just say, it was good to be booed up on election night. That was good, right? Like, like, it was a good distraction, like, from all of that. Like, the whole election week, like, it was good. Okay? It was a good distraction, right? But, like, you can't really build, like, a lasting partnership off of, you know, I talk to you because I have anxiety right now, right? Like, you have to have things in common. We just didn't have enough in common, okay? And so let me also talk to you about intuition. Let me talk to you about intuition, okay? And again, I just want to say to this person, I know that they're not watching, but just in case this gets back to them, great person, so freaking smart, attractive person, just not the right person, right? And we like figured out, like, not the right person. Okay. So, intuition. So over the past, I want to say, week or so, I've been feeling like, it's really not, you know? And also, but I thought, okay, if he's in it, then, like, I'll be in it, and we'll, like, figure it out. Because the other thing about me that I understand and recognize is, I am really quick to cut men off, right? Like, and like I have been having conversations with my therapist about this. Oh gosh, this is too much. I'm saying too much, and that's why this is gonna come down. Okay, well, I'm already in it now, so I have to finish. Okay, so, you know, I've been talking, you know, to therapists, to my friends about this, and, you know, I've been trying to decipher whether or not, are these healthy boundaries that I'm erecting, or are these, like, border walls, you know? Like, boundaries are healthy, but, like, border walls are, like, built out of fear, right? And, like, you don't want to build border walls around intimacy, you know? And so I've been going back and forth with myself about, like, is it this? Is it that? Like, am I just afraid to be intimate? Is that what the block is? You know, am I just afraid to, like, pretend? But looking back, that's not what it was, right? So anyways, so I've been going back and forth about this, and some of my friends were like, no, that's just healthy boundaries. And then sometimes it's like, but you know, Kim, you are actually a hard ass, and, like, you are actually really nitpicky, and you know, I be mean. You know, I'm mean. Kimberly has stuff to do. You know, I don't have time to coddle you. I'm not mean. I'm just direct. Okay. Okay, so let me get back to this. So about a week or so ago, I was like, is something changing? You know, something in this dynamic is a little different, right? It's a little, you know, something is a little off, right? Have I changed, or has he changed, or something is just a little different, right? And I thought, maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe I'm just being anxious, right? Because like I said, I read Attached, and I know what my attachment, I'm sorry, I have to go back to my, let me make sure that I'm even doing this right. Do I need to take off all of the leaves? I'm not sure. Maybe I do need to take off all of the leaves. Sorry. I have to look. Okay, wait. How do I arrange? Oh, she took off all the leaves. Now I have to go back and take off all the leaves. But anyways, let me get back to the story. A week and a half ago, I said, something is it me? Maybe it's me. So the thing about me is I am at a point in my life where I think nothing should be left unspoken, right? With my friendships, with my family, with any entanglement that I get into. If I'm feeling something, let's talk about it, right? Because I don't want it to fester. Let's not let a little thing grow into a big thing. So I am very, very aggressive about saying something, let's talk about this. I'm feeling something. Are you feeling something? Let's talk about this, right? So I said, you know, a few days ago. I said, oh, let me not do the timeline. But I said, I think something is off, I'm feeling it. Something is a little off, and let's make and I think it's important for us to talk about when things are off so that we can make an informed decision about when it's time to cut it, right? Don't let it drag out. Don't let the shit slowly spiral down the drain. Who has time for that? Because one thing I also know is the dissolution of a bad entanglement or whatever is so fucking draining, right? The shit is going downhill, but it's drip, drip, dripping. And then, it's no, right? If it's not going to work, then let's just figure it out now. And he was like, no, it's fine and all of that. But in my mind, I said, this nigga he not really, And so I was also in my mind making, just trying to rearrange some things and thinking, okay, Kimberly, are you being paranoid? Okay. Or is this thing that you're feeling a real thing? Because the other thing, okay, wait, let me not get too deep into this. But I will say, oh shit, how much do I want to say about this? What I will say is what I've encountered is men stick around for a long time, right? Trying to catch up with you and hey, give me a chance and let's just try it for months and potentially even years. And then you're okay, well, since you've been around for a long time, I guess we could just try it, and then you try it and then they wake up one day and switch up. Now, this is not an indictment on that person. It's not. I'm just saying that I'm 31. I have been a heterosexual woman who has dated men for a good 15 years. That is the cycle, okay? That is the cycle. Okay. So I was this nigga's doing the thing. He's doing the thing where he's been hanging around for a long time and then he about to switch up. Okay. So this is too much. I'm saying way too much right now. Okay, but y'all know this is gonna be up on the Patreon. So I was just feeling it. I was he's doing the thing, Kim. But then I was is he doing the thing or are you paranoid, right? Is he doing the thing or is this trauma? Because, as much as I want to protect my time and my energy, I also don't want to be moving as a traumatized body, as a person who can only see danger and who can't see joy, right? So I'm trying to check myself, but I'm feeling something, right? And then I hate to get into it. Y'all don't know who I'm talking about, so it's fine. Okay, so then, we have some conversations and we're getting into some tiffs, right? Too many arguments for a new entanglement. Too many arguments for a new thing. It's just not healthy. But I thought, okay, well, we're just figuring, it was not. Okay, so then he talks about having to get a COVID test. And I was okay, why? I didn't want to, because I knew that, well, first of all, I knew nobody was going to come visit me for Thanksgiving because it's just not enough time. Everybody knows that I am very hardcore COVID protocol follower. You have to have enough time to quarantine. My mother is in her 60s. She has a chronic illness. Kimberly, her shit is on lockdown. So it's a no. You can only come hang out if you're going to stay for an extended period of time so that we can get a series of COVID tests. It's not going to be a one-off. And y'all Negroes who think that y'all going to get COVID tests today and go see your grandparents, or you think you're going to get a COVID test on Tuesday and go see your grandparents on Thursday, it's fucking irresponsible. Somebody's going to get COVID and die. That is not the way that COVID works. You could be completely asymptomatic and be COVID undetectable on Tuesday and still have it on Thursday through Saturday. That's that on that. Okay, so anyways, I was why are you, in my mind, I didn't ask this question because I don't want to be that person, but it's why are you getting on that, right? And then he, said, oh, I, might see people for Thanksgiving. And I was like, okay, like, that's cool, but in my mind, I was like, you never mentioned this. And you were trying to come here for Thanksgiving. And, but I don't want to be, look, and also by that time, I was already like, this ain't gonna work. It ain't working. Like, it's not gonna, like, okay, but let's just see where it goes. That was me. I was like, I don't think that this is gonna be it, but let's just see where it goes. Okay, so then let me take off. So then, we're, going back and forth and just having these arguments. And then I texted him because I was going to text him and be like, our personalities don't mesh, right? Like every time we talk, like we're arguing. But I went back. I second guessed it. Sorry, I have a Band-Aid. I second guessed it, so I didn't text him that. I just apologized for being wrong, right? So then he texted me back about I should not say this. Okay. This is gonna have to come down. But then he says, I'm gonna say this because I just want to underscore the fact that like my intuition is right. So then, he texted me about how, yeah, you're right. And, my ex texted me and we've been talking and I can't talk to you and her at the same time. And like, that's who he's going to go see for Thanksgiving next week. I'm sorry. Wait. Now, when you were getting the COVID test a couple days ago, and you said that you might be going to see some people, but now all of a sudden you're gonna be with your ex on Thanksgiving, but that's in 4 days. Now, wait a second. I didn't go through all this, right? Like, don't do that. Like, I did not go through, but I'm like, I'm like the meme, the Homeland meme where she's like putting I'm like, no nigga, no Negro. And by the way, I'm actually not super upset, like, because it wasn't the right fit. It was not good. It wasn't right. It wasn't easy. I was having more doubt than I was having fun, right? Like that actually is the right move. Like we need to do different stuff. And I was just second guessing myself, I shouldn't have second guessed myself. The actual like trifling part is now, but you knew you were gonna do this days ago but you weren't, but when we gone, okay, right, wait a second, and that's like, men really be doing that. I just was like, it's not adding. It's just so, it's not adding. It's like, now look, we really could have, you could have just said, right? So if we hadn't have argued and then Thanksgiving came around and you were spending Thanksgiving with your ex without, so what, how was that gonna work? How was that gonna work, you Jack? It's just so it's funny. It's just so fucking, and it's like, what was the plan? What was the reason? What was the plan here? Whew. Anyways. That is that on that. I just had to get that story out. I should not have shared that in public, but I did. It's fine. But I'm just like, now after all that time and all that back and forth, it's like, anyways, all I'm saying is trust your intuition. When things are wrong, they are wrong. And when men start switching up, they are very obvious about it. And you should just go with your gut. It's just insane. And again, nice man. Just real, niggas just cannot help it. They're just trifling. They literally cannot, it's like you didn't have to do that. Like you truly did not have to do that. Okay, so in my, you're giving him, don't date these niggas till you're 43. But anyways, on the other hand, it's also text your ex season. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But yes, Ari was right. Don't date these niggas till you're 43. Let me try to find the right one. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Mrs. James. Yeah, he was not the right person. Super not. And also, I think people are saying I'm being too nice to him. Yes, that was shady. It was so shady. It's like they can't help it. But I also recognize that I was not, I wasn't acting like somebody who really, I did not act the way that I would act if I was really into him, So he absolutely could have been picking up that signal and moving stealthily, in accordance with what I was giving. But you don't have to lie to kick it. I'm just so perplexed by it's just so sneaky. It's so sneaky. And that's not the first time that somebody that I have been in an entanglement with has done some sneaky stuff like that. I'm not that girl. Don't do that. Okay, so what I'm trying to do now is make the center. So we are putting 4 roses together to make the center. Sorry if you're watching this, but you know what you did. You know what you did. And just because I didn't confront you about it, because it's not worth the confrontation, you know what you did. All right. Okay, I'm trying to tie this. Okay, wait. Oh, shoot. Let me put the freaking... Shoot. Okay, wait. Okay, wait. Now you're trying to bunch it up. Oh, shit. It's hard. It's hard. Okay. We are going to chop their head off. Nigga, leave. Oh, no judgment. Just please don't have scissors in your hand if you see his shade. Yeah, it's fine. It is okay. It's just Why are you moving like that? Like, we are grown. You do not have to do that. Okay. But that's the other thing. Like, this is the other reason why you can't date these niggas till you're 43. It's because it's the angling, right? Like, that to me is like what is so annoying. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are always trying to trade up or like trade what they believe is up, because I don't believe that he's trading up, but that's just me. Like, let's just do a clean break. Okay. People are saying niggas always lie. I'm glad you went with your gut. They always find a way to make you feel like you are the crazy one when they be the ones lying. Age don't matter. Niggas gone nigga. Andrea, I just have to say you're pretty. Thank you, Andrea. Is there any hope to find a halfway decent, like, I will let you know. Maybe I actually won't. I probably won't let y'all know if I find a halfway decent man. I'm, again, not really going to talk about this anymore. Okay, so basically, now what we're trying to do, okay, this is going to be, all right, let me go ahead and put the water in this. How long have I been doing this? 40 minutes. Y'all, can you believe this man got a COVID test up the nose, nasopharyngeal swab days ago, told me that he was going to go to a Friendsgiving and was planning days ago? What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? What is wrong with these people? Okay, so anyways, this is the plant food. So anyways, you have to do plant food because regular water, especially if you're not using distilled water, this is botanist Kim talking, especially if you're not using distilled water, regular water makes your flowers wilt faster. So we're going to do that, and we're going to use a little stem to stir it. Keep your heart open anyway. My heart is actually very open. I was already done with him when he didn't pay for your date. That's true. That's true. I will say, though, that men can tell if you don't like them all the way, and because they're hella insecure, they will find a girl who is giving them all that attention. That's actually true and legit. Like, that's totally fine. But I guess my real only issue is, my true only issue is the sneaky plotting. Truly, right? Like, I have never, like, things end when they're supposed to end, right? Every relationship is not supposed to be forever. Every entanglement is not supposed to be a serious relationship, right? Like, I'm totally that. I'm that girl. But then it's like, it's the other stuff, you know? Like, you're having to go out of your way to be a nigga. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You don't have to live like that. Okay. The tutorial that I looked up on YouTube was, they only used 8 flowers, but I like a really full bouquet, so I think I'm going to do more than 8. Who was the tarot card reader? Does she have an Instagram? I'll DM you. But she was right. She was right about everything. She was like, She literally was like, I know that your instinct is to jump in with this person, but you don't need to do that. And I was like, you don't know me, but she does. But she does. No, I'm a Pisces. Sorry, she's giving him too much. He's shady. That's unethical. Yes, it is unethical, and yes, it is shady, but I'm trying to move. I'm trying to move in the spirit of grace. I'm also kind of trying to move in the spirit of grace because I was also lying, right? I also was lying about my feelings for him. Like, I didn't like him that much, right? Like, I wasn't like, I can be honest and say, like, I was saying one thing, but in my heart, I was feeling a different thing, you know? And the same way that I have an intuition, it's possible that he had an intuition. He just decided to do some real shady shit, you know? Because niggas don't know how to, they don't know how to communicate. Anyway, shout out to this florist for taking all of the thorns. Well, did you sneak around with your ex? Nope. No, I did not. How did you get into flower arrangements? Well, for a while, I was just buying flowers. Ooh, that's an ugly one. That looks brown on there. For a while, I was just buying, you know, like bouquets that get delivered in vases. Sorry, let me just take this down. For a while, I was just doing bouquets that get delivered in vases. And, or actually, no, let me put it back up because I don't like it. And then I was getting too many vases. Sorry, let me get off. I don't want my armpits on the internet. And then I found a website that just delivers flowers, not flowers and vases. So I decided, oh, I'll just get into arranging the flowers myself. And so, I don't know, that was about a month ago. And so I've been doing, this is like the fifth floral arrangement that I've done. EQ is just as important as IQ, ladies. You know, it's so funny that you say that because he literally was like, I have low emotional intelligence. And I was like, what does that even mean? Why would you even say that? Like, who even says that? Somebody says, I admire your ability to reflect on situations pretty balanced, but sometimes you just got to call it out when someone is messy. You know, I'm trying to, look, this is a fresh situation, so I'm trying to wait to be fully judgmental until I've really processed it. I don't want to say anything in public right now that I would regret, so I'm just trying to be very diplomatic about it. Really, you know? He was perceptive about that. He was. Side effects of being a Republican. I also sometimes get the need to perform a relationship rather than be in one. Yeah, so I'm going to avoid that. Always believe red flags. I'm trying to be fair, you know? Because I do feel like sometimes red flags are trauma, you know? You know, like, I'm not sure I know that sometimes the things that I perceive as red flags are just my own traumas. But then sometimes the things that I perceive as red flags are actual red flags. And so how do you know which is which? I don't know. That's called being a human, okay? Yeah, so that is that. Anyways, let me so anyways, if you want to know more about this situation, you can always but then it's hard on the other side too, because I'm dating a guy I really do like, but I don't want to get my hopes up because you really never know with these niggas. You really never know with these niggas. You really don't. That's something that I know for sure is like, because most people are very, very, like, I am not against confrontation. That's why when I feel something, I will say, hey, what's going on? You know, like, I go out of my way, you know, especially in that situation, I went out of my way to say, something's not right here, or that interaction that we just had, it doesn't work for me. Like, does it work for you? Like, I am so freaking good about that. But most people fear confrontation the most, you know, like fear hard conversations and all of that. Like, they don't want to do that, you know, because that's work. It's hard, and it does take a lot of self-awareness to do that. I wish I knew how to take off this filter. I don't. I'm so sorry. I'm 65 years old. No offense if you're 65 years old. I don't know how to work Instagram. But anyways, especially men, right? Because I do think that heterosexual men in particular are taught to value, like, they always want to keep all of the options open. Are we going to get into it? Are we going to get into it? Let's talk about it, because this is something I know for sure. Heterosexual men, in a quest to always keep all of their options open all the time, they refuse to have any kind of hard conversation or any kind of what could possibly be perceived as a confrontation with women that they're fucking or women whom they want to fuck, right? That's something Kimberly knows for sure after 31 years. And so that means that a lot of the work does fall on the shoulders of the female, or the woman. Sorry, I don't use the word female. A lot of the work does fall on the woman to be like, hey, like, you know, is that a red flag? Or what are you doing? Or the tone of your voice changed. What's happening? And that does create a lot of extra work, and it creates a lot of extra anxiety. And I do think that men sometimes will be like, well, why are you, you know, like, you're crazy. Like, why are you doing this? Like, why are you moving this way? And it's because, Negro, like, I'm trying to do all of the emotional work here. I'm trying to figure out how you're moving, what you're not saying. I'm trying to manage my own emotions and my own expectations. Like, it's a lot. It is really anxiety inducing. And I realized, and I've known for a long time, I'm not down for that much work. It's too much work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got shit to do. I can't just spend all of my time trying to read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? And, I could really get into some shit, but I'm not going to get into all that. But I will say, like, I think men often prefer the women who want to spend their time reading between the lines. It's just not Kimberly. Okay? I have payroll to process, okay? I don't have time to be doing all that. Okay, so now we're getting our shape together. Oh, that looks real grody. Okay, but now we're getting our shape together. If a man can't have a hard conversation, I lose interest altogether. Yeah, it's really okay. So is this gonna be? I don't know if I want this. Rose is nasty. Looks ugly in there. Okay, this one is good though. Okay, look, we're giving you a little bouquet right now. this point, yeah, I do like doing flowers. I really do. It's like my thing. It's really like, this is self-care. It's really soothing to me to like see the shape come together. It is. Oh, that's nasty looking too. Where are the good looking flowers? Okay. Oh, this is a good one. That looks pretty. Gay men be on the same bullshit too. Yeah, I'm sure that people of other genders and gender expressions like and sexualities do the same thing. I don't want to, you know, put too much dip on my chip and over like extrapolate, so I can really only talk about my experience as a hetero woman. But it's just a fucking mess, girl. It's a fucking mess. So I actually made a mistake. It's not Idas who get the office hours, it's Fannie Lou's. And then everybody below Fannie Lou gets the $10 off. But if you are planning to go to the office hours with Kim event, then you can, people have given money. If you are planning to go, then you can send emails to info@forharriet.com or Kimberly@forharriet.com, or if you're a patron, just send me a question there and I will answer it. Hours. Let me promo. Okay. What other questions are there? Hours. Also, it's very warm in Dallas. Office hours with Kim.com. Okay, there it is. You're not doing botany, you're doing flower arranging. Yeah, I'm doing flower arranging. I think I've referred to botany as in like, what are the parts of the flower? Kim, you're down for trans masculine dudes. If you are a man who is not trash, I'm open is too extreme. But any man who is not trash is a man that I might potentially partner. I'm not transphobic. I'm not open to anybody. Even though, again, it is Text Your Ex season. But, people always ask me, would I date a trans man? Yeah, I would. No trans men have ever DM'd me. Now, really, and honestly, people ask me this stuff because, honestly, like, that stuff is not my defining line. Like, honestly, for me, do you know what the real defining line for my dating life is? Do you have shit? Do you have some shit? Because I just got some shit. And so I can't really be dating people who don't have shit. It's too much. It's too much of a struggle. I don't want to talk about your masculinity and you being like, I'm so sorry. I don't really. If you a man who has some shit, then you can tell your friends to text my friends and maybe we can be friends. You know what I'm saying? like, that's really it for me. Do you have a career? Do you have an IRA? Do you have a brokerage account? Do you have a savings account? Maybe you don't have any of those things, but what's your credit score like? Because I can also work with a good credit score as well. That's also valuable. Okay, now we're gonna... Okay, now we have to cut these. We're gonna cut them. Okay, this one. I also like men with things. I'm not up with attacking. I and no problem. I also like men with things, and I'm still in college. Yeah. Honestly, that's the other thing. You know what I'm really gonna say, and I hate to sound like that side of YouTube that you all know that I do not associate with, but it's really, really difficult to date men who don't have stuff. It is. It's really hard. And that's like an extra calculation that you have to make. Like, he don't have shit and I have shit, so how do I maneuver my shit to make him feel like he has some shit, you know? That's too much. It's too much work. Unless you're dealing with a, unless you're dealing with somebody who is super secure. Any chance you can meet someone on the app that you're on, the invite only one? Kimberly is not, I'm not actively seeking, look, any person who finds me, let me actually not even get into this, but I'm not doing no app shit. I'm not doing any of that shit. If I don't already know you, if I'm not already aware of you, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. I don't have the time for that. If you don't already have some shit that I can verify, then it's a no. Okay. Okay, but look, the shape is we're still giving you a little bit of it. I just need to balance out the shape a little bit. Do this one on this side. Okay. Okay. I think that's going to be it for me here. Because also, these are still closed. Like, they're going to open up and be even bigger. So I probably don't want to even do more than this. Let me just keep cutting so I can get them into the vase. Super secure is not a thing unless they're a prestigious warrior in their local village, honey. Do you think your past traumatic encounters with the church girls influenced how you extend yourself to romantic relationships? I don't know about that. I think my past traumatic encounters with niggas No, but I think it's all connected, right? Like, it's familial trauma, it's friendship trauma, it's relationship trauma, it's all of that. But I also honestly just think that, there's a lot that I want to do professionally that takes a lot of time and effort and focus. And it is, something that I have felt over the past 6 weeks or whatever. Like, I feel like I have not been on my shit, right? Like, it is difficult to balance trying to figure somebody else out and learn their feelings and all of that with, like, trying to be productive, Okay, is this gonna be it? Oh, baby. Oh, shoot. You know what I was supposed to get another tie. I need to get another tie so that we can keep the bunch together. Okay. I need another ribbon or something. Oh, maybe I'll just use this ribbon. Maybe I will. I invest so much more time into my friendships. Yeah, like honestly, so you know the thing about the money stuff is obviously capitalism is bad, right? Like capitalism is an abusive, coercive system that relies on the exploitation of all of the underclasses, but especially like black people. I'm not an Afro pessimist, but if you are an Afro pessimist, then you believe that like even like sustaining the system of capital relies explicitly on the exceptional, the supersized exploitation of black folks, right? And so if you have that kind of understanding about these political superstructures and all that, I understand that, you know, me saying like you have to have some shit, like that's, you know, it's like a little, you know, it's a little, look, cognitive dissonance, it's definitely a little tricky. It's definitely tricky, right? But at the same time, I just know, you know, I've just been doing this for a long time and I know how difficult it is. Look, I'm a lady in my 30s and I've managed to make a little bit of a life, and it's just really, I just know how hard it is when you're trying to fit somebody else into your shit. It's just really hard. It's just so much extra work. You know, unless you're really dealing with one of the 5 men who have completely divested from patriarchy. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like if I really found a person who was 100% divested from traditional ideals of masculinity, like that would make it easier. But if you're still holding on to that stuff, right? And you don't have shit, you're making my life harder on a couple of different levels. Okay, a lot of these flowers are just not gonna make it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is tie it. Let's tie. One of the 5. Don't give these frumpy men leeway. Tricky. But we have to navigate the system with the least amount of trauma possible. True. And like, I'm totally, look. Oh, sorry. I'm focused on trying to tie these flowers right now. So y'all talk amongst yourselves. I need to focus a little bit. You know, the other thing about that situation was he absolutely needed somebody who was more traditional anyway. I'm not sure why niggas be thinking, you know what men think? This is really what they think. They think that I do have to do a lot of, even as a super feminist woman who is deeply committed to her politics, as I've stated before, there is a lot of unlearning and stuff that I have to do, that I always have to work on. But, you know, just because a nigga texting my... Okay, I'm going to stop using the N-word. Just because a man is texting my phone every day doesn't mean that my politics suddenly are going to change. My ideas and ideals about gender are not suddenly going to change just because you've decided to show up, right? And I think a lot of men do think that, right? That like feminist women are just waiting. I'm not though. You know? I'm never going to wake up one day and magically be conservative or traditional. Okay, so I'm going to have to trim a little bit more off the bottom, but we're almost there. We're giving you a shape right now. We're almost there. I have some flower stuff. What do we do if they are unemployed and unwieldy? Pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. Yes. How can men want traditional women? Zoe Chronicles. Girl! How are you gonna come over here talking about tradition? This is what somebody called. This is what I preach all the time. How are you gonna be over here talking about traditional gender roles and you don't have shit? That is why I am open as somebody who has shit and has progressive politics to say, look, maybe if you have a little less shit than I do, then we can work it out. You just have to be completely divested from the gender stuff, right? We can work it out if you are truly divested from the gender stuff. Because what's not gonna happen is Kimberly has all the stuff and like pays for the stuff and is like doing all of this work to like create this career, and you don't have shit and you're trying to stress me out about gender roles? Absolutely not. That is not what's gonna happen. Okay, have I cut enough? Have I cut enough? I feel like I think we're doing it. I think we've done something here. The middle one is a little tall. Sorry. Let me push this down a little. You gotta have a J-O-B if you want to be with me. Okay, I think I'm done with this flower arrangement. It's not the best, but maybe in a couple of days when all the flowers bloom, it'll look a little cuter. It's not looking bad per se, but it's not looking the best. And honestly, I've been distracted this whole time. How about we just ignore men? I don't feel anything when I see them anymore. Why does he do that? Maybe, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not investing any more time into like deciphering what men do. Like this past 8 weeks was enough for me for a while. I'm not going to do that anymore. I mean, not for a long time. So that was a fun adventure, okay? It was a fun adventure into, like, is heterosexuality for Kimberly? Maybe it is. Mostly no, though. Mostly no. Okay, so I'm basically finished. I do have a couple of flowers left over, but they're a little ugly. Let me put this back a little. This is not... It's not my best work, but, you know, we're dealing with we're going through some things today. So I think I'll give myself a little bit of there's a little space right there that needs to be filled. Anyways, that's it. You'll see this flower arrangement in some forthcoming videos, you guys. And as always, this is going to go up for patrons and members. It'll do, yeah. It means that you don't care about romance or having a crush. I don't care enough to invest. Okay. I feel bad for het women. The dating pool is bleak. I also want to say, if you're the person who I DM'd today, that this is not about you. I'm not talking about you. It's everybody else. Okay, it's time for me to go. Gay stuff is a whole new world. You don't want to go on the magic carpet just yet, Kim. No, I unfortunately am heterosexual, right? Like somebody asked, would you date a celebrity? I cannot even think of a celebrity that I would want to date. Um, will this live be on Patreon? It will. Somebody asked, would you date someone on the journey towards healing from toxic masculinity? I think all men, even the feminist ones, are on a journey toward healing from toxic masculinity. So, yeah. Okay. I have to go now. I'm just on here. Is it down? Oh, I don't know what's wrong. Anyways. No, I'm not dating no, what? No, I'm not dating a celebrity. Okay, y'all, when I was talking about DMs, okay, I can't even. Yeah, if you try to go to the website and it says bad gateway, just type it in again. I don't know what's wrong, Anyways, I'm just on here. Well, I mean, now that I'm on here, and apparently Instagram has decided that there's no time limit on here, I guess I can answer some more questions. Do you guys have questions? Let me also clean some of this up. Who is the tarot reader? Now, what I'm not going to do is publicize the tarot reader publicly. But if you individually want to DM me, I can point you to her. Let's talk about how did y'all break up? Via text. Via text. What are your COVID protocols? How do you feel about outdoor dining? I have not been in a restaurant. I have not sat down to eat in a restaurant in 6 months, maybe. Was it a virtual tarot reading? It was. Do you feel like Brandy's legacy and impact has been undermined? I feel like it has, because she always got compared to someone who doesn't compare to her. I do. I feel like people don't give Brandy enough. I see people all the time trying to pretend like Brandy doesn't sing. I've seen the children these days say that Brandy just, that she just whispers. And I'm like, do y'all not have ears? Brandy is a superb talent. Like, what are y'all even hearing? And now, I just got all of this stuff clean yesterday. And of course, I just am getting flower stuff all over. So shout out to me. Are the patrons ever going to get another Get Ready With Me again? I mean, I could do that, but I'm not great at doing my makeup, I feel like those are better for like the beauty girls. I am not doing that. What I can do is do other, like, I have to cook something for Thanksgiving, so I can do a cooking with me and talk about something, but like just to sit down, I'm doing my makeup, get ready with me, I don't know about that. Do you think it's safe to have a small Thanksgiving gathering? How small? I am having Thanksgiving with my mom and my sister, and we all have our little COVID pod, and we don't hang out with anybody else, and that's it. Look, I don't want to be the COVID police, but like, there's no real safe gathering at this point. Half of these new R&B artists are the ones whispering, and that's coming from a 20-something. Do you have any favorite YouTubers? My favorite YouTubers, gosh, I always talk about how I love Natalie ContraPoints. I just like the style of her videos. You know what? Kimberly loves research. I love research. I love planning. I love ambition, I love execution, and Natalie always gives you a production, and I appreciate that because she doesn't have to do that. I know Selena Gomez is pop, but that came to mind. Summer Walker always come to mind. Kim, what is your zodiac sign? Pisces. Do you listen to Tank and the Bangas? If so, what are your favorite songs? I don't really listen to Tank and the Bangas. I will say that I loved their Tiny Desk concert, but I don't love the recorded versions of their songs. It's just different. So couldn't ever really get into them. But I do think that Tank in particular is really talented. Okay. What would your ideal man be if you chose to invest? Let me just tell you, 31-year-old Kim, in order to get me to invest, it's going to take a lot. It's gonna take a lot. It just is, you know. Honestly, we're done giving passes. I should have been done giving passes and making excuses, to be honest. Honestly, as soon as I knew that man was broke, I should have been like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But oh, sorry. I said I was not gonna talk about that man like this. It's gonna take a lot. Have you changed your mind about Trevor Noah? I actually have, you know. I think that I made a video criticizing Trevor Noah years ago, and I think that he has gotten really good at his job. Oh my goodness. This entire live has been such a mess. Like, it's been but I needed to vent. The next venting, I'll have to go to my group chats. I probably should have done the group chat venting first instead of coming on here first, but whatever. Maybe I need to give him another chance because I hate Trevor Noah. I don't hate him. What was your favorite part of Camila's documentary? You mean Between the World and Me? Okay, so you guys, so there's a couple of things. So there's a Between the World and Me podcast that's coming out, produced by HBO, and I'm going to be a part of that podcast with a few people from the film and Adrienne Marie Brown and Sonia Renee Taylor. We had kind of like a roundtable dialogue. I, again, have no clue how much they used of me. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if, like, they cut a lot of what I said out. But I'm up in there. I'm going to put it on my resume because I just feel so honored that they would, like, even want me to do that because I love and respect the other two women so much. But Between the World and Me is on HBO Max. And I will say that when I was asked to do the podcast, I was like, gosh, like, I'm going to do this because it's going to be a good look, but what if I don't like the film? I loved the film, you guys. I freaking loved it. I thought it was so good, so evocative. I thought the acting was so good. Oh, you know, I love acting. I just thought the camera angles were so interesting. The use of archival footage was so good. Even the excerpts that they chose, like, the casting was perfect except for a couple people. Maybe I could have done without a couple of people in that cast, but I'm not gonna get into that. I just thought Camila Forbes is a freaking genius, right? So to be able to adapt a book like that, like a book of essays, into like a piece of theater, get the fuck out of here. It was so good. So my favorite part of it was Mahershala Ali. Ugh, first of all, y'all know Mahershala Ali, okay? Fine ass man, right? but also talking about love and partnership, and like there is something, I am still a sucker for, a hetero man being really vulnerable about intimacy. I also, obviously didn't go to Howard, but I love Susan Kelechi Watson. I love the parts of that film that are shot at Howard, and Susan Kelechi Watson just like walking through the yard with her hoop earrings. Like, I love that. Oh, you know what else I loved? The part with the man from The Wire. What is his name called? I only have 10% left, so I have to wrap this up. The man from The Wire and Treme and the other woman, when they were talking about the time when Coates, somebody like bumped his child or whatever, that scene was also really good. Oh, actually, there's so many scenes that I really, really like. Like, I just thought the acting was so good. It was so good. The actor whose name I can't remember, the name escapes me, who was talking about Prince Jones, I thought that was amazing. Like, honestly, this is no cap. Like, I really just thought the entire film was so well done. So well done. And I had a lot of critiques of the book. I still do have some critiques of the book. But I thought that the film version of it was really, really good. Wendell Pierce. Yes. I have a crush on Wendell Pierce. Let's not talk about it. Favorite podcasts. Gosh, what a podcast. I mean, I listen to The Daily every day. What podcast do I listen to? I also listen to media podcasts. So I've been listening to Recode Media. I'm like, a media nerd. So I like those kinds of conversations. Recode Media, the Digiday podcast. I listen to the podcast of this like newsletter I subscribe to that's about digital media called A Media Operator. This is all like nerdy professional Kim shit, but that is mostly what I listen to. What other podcasts do I listen to in the car? Oh, I also listen to 538. Is this going up on Patreon? Yes. What is your opinion on the Black Panther movie in terms of representation? I don't have a take on that. Okay. Somebody asking if I'm a Marxist. He's so fine. Selena does sound like a goose, but the other R&B girls have pretty voices, but they don't compare to Brandy. Do you see yourself doing any producing or consulting on films in the future? I think that in the future I could potentially get into doing documentary. Like, there are definitely things that I would like to explore, topics that I would like to explore in longer form, like longer than a video, with more production value and more time for research and interview and all that. I could definitely see myself doing that in the future. Why is manifestation on your mind, especially compared to church? Well, because if you are a Black woman, especially, you are going to encounter other Black women on the internet talking about manifestation all the time. It happens on Clubhouse. It happens on Twitter. It happens on Instagram. Black women love that shit. The way that Black women love generally religiosity. I know that like younger Black women think that we are so progressive. We don't go to church anymore. Like we are relinquishing like the old ways, but manifestation is just a repackaging of that old religious shit. You know what I'm like? It's the same shit, okay? Right? It's the same shit. You just don't have to go to church. It's the same shit. Okay. I've got... When are you gonna spill the tea about the drama on Clubhouse? Okay, I'm just on here now, just talking. Thank you guys to anyone who watched me go through a range of emotions. It's been a long 90 minutes. I do feel better though, I will say. It just feels good to get it out. Again, this is my pimple patch right there. Shout out to Adult Acne. That's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.